Words like KPI and synergy do have specific meanings. However, people in power often use them incorrectly and broaden their meaning. This is called semantic broadening. When a word is broadened to mean many more things than originally intended. I'll give you an example and show you a quick trick that I did at an organization to help with this. But even with the best of intentions, it can cause a lot of confusion. This reminds me of the Stephen Covey example of what an organization, he said it would be like a soccer team having two players not knowing which goal to score in, two players actively trying to score in their wrong goal, and then two players fighting for their life on the team trying to score in the correct goal. That's what happens when you use semantic broadening too much at work. There's at no point in semantic broadening where someone is like, PSA, culture now means anything I want it to mean. Or PSA, KPI means any measurement at all. Instead, it just kind of gets broader. And when leaders do this and they don't use it in the original term and they're not clear on that, they lose a lot of trust from their groups who are like, do you even know what you're talking about even anymore? And since, especially in the West, in the US, we have this unwritten rule at work that you're not allowed to admit a mistake or that you don't know anything, nobody knows that everybody else is confused. And the miscommunications just keep happening. Duolingo and LinkedIn did a study, I think 2023, across 8 countries and found that miscommunications were costing companies a lot of money due to lack of productivity because people kept having to start over on everything. One of my clients was a really large organization that wanted to improve its measurement. And so they put in their performance evaluations that all supervisors had to have KPIs. And it caused a little bit of a panic because people were like, what am I supposed to do? And then for some, they didn't do anything at all because they didn't even realize it had changed or what that would mean for them. And thankfully, we had excellent senior leadership who was like, oh, I see how this could be a big problem. What do you recommend we do? And so I did a workshop with them where I started the workshop with a word cloud because I knew coming in that a lot of people were like, why are we having a workshop on KPIs? Everybody knows what that is, da 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 da. So we started with a word cloud. It really was anonymous. And I was like, okay, tell me what a KPI is. And the responses were all different because KPI had lost its meaning because it is used incorrectly so frequently. And once they saw that in the beginning of the workshop, they saw that they weren't all on the same page. We had instant buy-in because they were like, I see why we're here. Now, it wasn't a one and done workshop. We also then had, like, I did office hours with supervisors where I gave them feedback, where I helped them one on one. And it was great because sometimes people would help each other in the office hours. They'd be like, oh, this is what my department's doing, and that's similar to us, and we should partner together and things like that. So, semantic broadening isn't inherently bad, but when we don't acknowledge it, it can cause a lot of confusion. And if you do have specific goals that you are trying to get people to meet, the communication does have to happen. Even if what you're not expecting meets the original term, clarity on what you do need benefits everyone and your bottom line. If you want to learn more about this, check out my free book chapter linked in my bio. It is The Unwritten Rule of Indirect Communication. There are tips for leaders, staff, and HR. Before we wrap up, if any of this resonates with you and you're ready to see how it can be integrated into your work life, you can book with me on my website. If you're not sure where to get started, the first 20 minutes are free, and that's the white button above me. And if you're ready to dive into coaching, click the purple one on the top. I'll put the links in the description of this video.